Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Tuesday, December 31st, 2024, the last day of the year. Just real quick, tomorrow the market is closed for New Year's Day. I will not be doing a market report pre or post market. Obviously, there is no market tomorrow. But I will see you on Thursday, the first trading day of the year. I'll cover that later. But let's just start to put a few things into perspective, people. I want you to understand something very clearly what's going to happen to currencies, plural, central bank issued notes moving into 2025, including the US dollar. You probably know what I'm going to say, but I don't want you to fall for a trap door that is being set for you right now. For years, a decade, more than a decade, I've been explaining to all of you, we've covered it here multiple times, that for the foreseeable future, and this is going to remain in effect, the US dollar on a relative strength basis, in other words, comparing it to other currencies, is going to remain the prettiest belle at the ball. The trap door that gets set for you is, okay, look how strong the dollar is. On a relative strength basis, it's going to remain that way. But on an absolute strength basis, central bank issued notes collectively are going to lose more purchasing power. This includes the dollar. How do we know that? What do we know is getting set up right now? The Federal Reserve, okay, who's responsible for monetary policy, okay? It's not presidents, kings, queens, dictators, monarchs, will be lowering rates multiple times throughout this year. In fact, it's being portrayed as being forced to do it because the economy is going to crater moving forward. This is exactly the setup here. People, look, man, let's get real. None of this, none of it at all whatsoever, and I mean zero, is by accident, a comedy of errors. We are here by design. This is a system that is being set up to fail. You understand? Okay, and we got a warning. Actually, it wasn't a warning from, actually, I have a picture of it. Yesterday, we got a warning here from Trump. Okay, warning of a Great Depression. This is no warning. You know what this really is? It's a promise. It's going to happen, and you knew that before he said it. People, we're being thrust not only into a new system that we don't want, we didn't vote for. You know what I'm talking about? This merger. It makes me want to vomit. I'm telling you the truth here. Between deregulated banks, or maybe they're not going to have any regulation at all moving forward. You understand what happened yesterday. The Trump administration is looking to completely deregulate the banks. All right. Beautiful. Predatory institutions, they're going to pounce all over you, and that's what you voted for, right? No, you didn't. And you can't stop it. There's just no way out of it. Understand what's going to happen here. The merger and deregulation of cryptocurrencies and banks being put together here to bridge us into the new system is going to happen very, very rapidly. It started to get set up prior to the selection. That's how we know, again, it's in your face. There was no election. Wake up, people. Wake the freak up, finally. So this is a promise. Now, with regard to that, you're going to see currency devaluation as central banks continue to inflate their only power. Why do you think it is that we're being pulled further and further and further and further away from a constitutional money system, being thrust into a digital tokenized system? Because we're going back to a commodity-backed system? People, wake up. Start to think real. Okay, and snap out of the delusion that you've been hypnotized into during the run-up to the selection here. Snap out of it. Really, snap out of it. It's in your freaking face, and they tell you what they're going to do before it happens. Anyway, look, with regard to the currencies, you got to understand what's going to happen here. There's a trapdoor being set up for you with regard to the dollar. Okay, you're going to hear over and over and over and over again how strong the dollar is. I don't want you to just laugh at it. They're talking about a relative strength basis, not an absolute strength. The absolute purchasing power, or the value of central bank issued notes around the world, is in free fall. This means it's over here for the economy. Henceforth, why Trump here said we're moving into, what is he saying? A Great Depression here. We're already in what is yet to be defined. People, look, man, people can't survive. They're borrowing and borrowing and borrowing beyond their eyeballs here just to maintain the illusion of a middle class existence. Sound familiar to you? We've only spoken about this would happen for 10 years. This mechanism is going to get worse, and all these people are doing to themselves is assuring them a front seat on the roller coaster ride into the pit of financial obscurity on a massive scale as they create dependency on the system. That's what this is all about right now. Creating dependency. And you know this because we've covered it over and over again. But I believe we're going to see this accelerate moving into next year as the Fed continues to cut rates, cut rates, cut rates, cut rates, cut rates. You got that same promise from President-elect Trump. You don't believe he said that? Because some of you still don't. I read through the comments. Oh, Greg, Trump never promised us lower rates. Really? People, it doesn't take a lot of effort to just Google these things. You make yourself look stupid. When you post a comment like this, oh, Greg is wrong. Trump never promised lower rates during the run-up to the presidential selection here. And you don't look it up for yourself. And honestly, look, I don't want any of you to look bad. I believe that the people that follow our thing here are very smart. So don't make yourself look dumb. Don't sell yourself short here. Before you post something like that, look it up for yourself. And again, go back to Trump's last tenure. He was calling for negative rates, which I think is where we're going here. Understanding that we're already being promised of a Great Depression here. You see what I wrote there? Promise. Means you're going to see the potential is great for a negative rate environment. They're going to sell it to you that way. And what it means is, again, massive currency devaluation. People, I don't know how to say this another way to you, but I'll say it one more time. And I said it yesterday. To have a strong economy, you need a strong currency. To have a strong currency, you need a corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. No one's going to tell you that. No politician's going to tell you that. No central bankers are going to tell you that. But that's a fact, and it should make sense to you. But what you're going to see moving forward worldwide here is further destruction of the purchasing power of the currency, which means, of course, massive, severe recession, severe economic downturn. Trump is saying depression. Anyway, look, let's just step back to yesterday because this is incredible. This is how the markets ended the day yesterday across the board. All right. This is far off from where we were earlier in the day. The Dow was down about 800 points. Then a miracle happened. A miracle. I want to show it to you one more time. You see this? The 10-year yield yesterday had its largest one-day drop in a year. Who got in there to buy all that debt? You have to understand how it works. A lot of you don't. Okay, when a central bank, in this case, because we know who did it, gets into the debt market and buys the debt, it forces the yield lower. It pushes it lower. There is no way any single investor, or I don't care who it is, has the firepower to cause the far end of the yield curve between the 10 and the 30 to drop. So this is clearly intervention by the Fed here. They wanted to stop the bleeding in the market. Now this is still going on this morning. The U.S. 10-year yield has actually fallen further, which has pushed the MMRI lower. You see that? We're still in a danger zone here, people. Let me say something. Let me show you something. These are stock futures from this morning after yesterday's sell-off. Right now, they're pointing towards a higher open. Trading doesn't start for about 40 minutes from the time I'm doing this now. Do you see what I wrote there? Do not bottom fish. If you're one of my lions, the last thing I want you to do is bottom fish here. I'm out of this market. I got out of this market because of what happened to the 10-year yield, the market sell-off, after the Fed made their announcement of cutting 25 basis points out of the federal funds rate, And I just didn't like what I'm seeing here. The market has not yet recovered. As a matter of fact, the market tried to recover. We fell 1,100 points. We got a little bit of a bounce, and now we're actually below that. I don't believe it's over. I don't believe it's over with regard to selling in this market. So why are you guys and girls keep writing to me? And, look, I read through the comments. Greg, you getting back in? You getting back in? Watch my mouth here. I am in no rush to get back in. You understand? I'm heavily still in all my crypto positions, and I will continue, and I am going to be adding more so to my commodity holdings in my hand here, people. Silver here, gold here, you know what I'm talking about. I will be adding to those, and I will tell you exactly when. If you subscribe to my newsletter, again, it's free, link in the description of this video. Here, this was yesterday, by the way. They're looking to, this should tell you something here. Do you think that banks should have absolutely no oversight? No, or they should have more control over you, is what I am saying. Is this what you really wanted? Did you vote for that? I don't think you did. Do you see the setup here? The key to the new system is bank deregulation and merger with crypto. And this is happening at an extreme pace. Anyway, with regard to futures, I showed you stock futures. They are higher this morning. Do not bottom fish, my lions. With regard to commodities here, people, I can't tell you what a deal of the century this is, at least in my perspective. Don't try to pick bottoms or tops here. Could we fall? Possibly. I don't care. This is an insurance policy against what is going to happen, a meltdown in the debt market on a scale you're not going to believe. It's being set up. It's not by accident. Again, no comedy bearers got us here. Cryptocurrencies, higher, and going much higher moving forward. Understand the mechanism here. Debt market meltdown will occur. The Fed's in here, and I think they took action yesterday. We haven't seen a drop like that in a year. Massive drop in the 10-year yield. What did that do to the stock market? The Dow went from down 800 points to finishing down only about 400. Do you see the mechanism here? Or does it elude you? I know you saw it. I'm telling you how it worked out. Now, we're going to see a meltdown in the debt market, and you know that at one point. It's being set up. It's the biggest, most massive bubble in the history of the world here. Trump wants to eliminate the debt ceiling and raise the debt, the ability to borrow. Again, you thought this was going to change. It's not going to. I told you prior to the selection, it was not going to. What you're expecting here, you think debts and deficits are going to shrink, you're going to see them skyrocket. Period, the end. If you can't accept that, I am sorry. That's what's going to happen. Now, I want to show you one more thing before we get out of here, people. And this should really tell you something. I've explained that I've been screaming from rooftops about the relationship between the federal funds rate and the 10-year yield. We have an inversion here that is very dangerous. And let me show you what I'm talking about again. I've showed you this before. Going back to 1990, look at what has happened here, okay? We got dot-com bubble, financial meltdown, crisis, and this is where we are today. This is where we are right now. Okay, this should tell you something of why Greg Mannarino is in no rush to get back into this freak show stock market, which has no connection or bearing on reality whatsoever. What we do know is the mechanism here of wiping out the economy and the people along with it via the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates. People, look, man, no one's going to tell you this. And all of my economics people, you all know this, what I'm about to tell you is true. Artificially suppressed rates, meaning you will see a loss of purchasing power, is a wrecking ball for the economy, a pendulum that keeps swinging back and forth faster and harder. The lower and the more they suppress rates here, the faster and larger the wrecking ball becomes as it devalues the currency. But you're being promised this by Trump, who is working with the Fed. And if you don't believe me, does this make sense to you? The Fed wants to lower rates. Okay, they're in the process of doing so. You were promised this by Trump, who has no power to do so. You understand that, right? The president does not have a printing press. The president does not have the ability to buy debt. But he promised you this, realizing he'd be working closely with the Fed to make it happen. That's who controls monetary policy. You understand? It's not presidents. But the mechanism here is massively destructive for the economy, and we're being set up. We are being set up for a great fall. You understand? You already got promised a Great Depression. Their playbook dictates, and if you don't believe me on this, maybe you need to start doing your own little research on this. It's not too hard to do. That they have to tell you first what they're going to do. See how you react to it, and if you don't push back, they take it as consent so they can do whatever they want to you. You understand? I think most of you out here get it. Some of you, the truth still eludes you, and it will continue to do so until you accept the fact that things are not what they appear to be anywhere here. This is a grand deception here on a massive scale. It's biblical. I'm telling you right freaking now. Anyway, guys and girls, look, I hope you got something out of this video here. Do not fall for the trap, through the trap door of the dollar strength. The dollar's getting destroyed, along with central bank issued notes around the world, as we are pushed into a system we do not want and we did not vote for. You and me, I would imagine you would rather see the United States as the constitutional money system of the world. Constitutional capital. No, but we're being the crypto capital. Why? Because of the new system, man. Don't you see? It's too easy, man. Too freaking easy. All right, guys and girls, listen. I will see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Understand, what I want you to take away from this video is something you already know. This is a wipeout. This is a virtual reality wipeout of the middle class in its extinction level event that I've been telling you and warning about, or maybe promising you because I knew it was going to happen. You knew this was going to happen. You knew it. And you think it's going to stop. It isn't. Just wake up, those of you that are still asleep. All right, look. We got this. We're in the right spots here. Please do not rush to get back into this market. Do not bottom fish. Do not try to pick a bottom or tops in pretty much anything. It will lead to your demise, honestly. You're going to get it right once in a while, but right now things are looking very dire for this market. And I've been called a perma bull for many, many years now. And being out of the market does not make me a bear. I am still not a bear. I am neutral because I am not short the market. I'm not long the market. I'm out right now. I want to see where this goes. I want to get back in here. I would love to get back in here, but I think it's too dangerous right now, in my opinion. And of course, you're entitled to your own. I'd love to hear from you on the things we've spoken about here. Does this concern you at all? Or you think Greg Mannarino is way off base on this, that this doesn't tell us anything? I want to hear your take on that too. People, I will see you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. All right, we got this. We got it. All right, love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you later.